In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to generate B2B leads using ChatGPT. If you think that B2B lead generation needs to be expensive or complicated, or it needs to be behind cold outreach or paid ads, you're probably going to love what I'm going to share with you today. Most people don't realize how ChatGPT is reshaping how clients find the businesses they want to work with. Most of what you're hearing online about this topic is actually all theory. But what I'm sharing in this episode is not theory. It's based on real results, real data, and a lot of experience. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to find the right topics and what type of content to create to get in front of real serious business buyers. Let's dive right in. So the first thing that I want to do in this episode is dispel 3 myths or misconceptions, okay? So myth number 1, B2B lead generation only works with paid ads or outbound cold reach. The only advantage to that type of an approach is you can fine-tune your funnels, right? Because when you pay for ads, you get instant traffic and you can test and tweak different landing pages or different offers and so forth. So there is some value to doing that. But when you're doing cold outreach, the disadvantage is that you're annoying people. You're interrupting people. You have to churn through a lot of people to find qualified people and to have them actually become a lead. Then when you have conversations with those leads, their guard is up, they have their defenses up, and you really have to overcome a lot to turn them into a customer. Myth number 2, ChatGPT can't help with B2B because it's too generic or too consumer focused. Okay, that would be like saying only consumers are on the internet. If you're a business owner, you never use the internet, and that's obviously not true. Myth number 3, long tail questions don't get enough search volume to be worth targeting. If you pay attention to what I'm sharing in this episode, you'll understand that this becomes your secret power, a long tail question. And when I mean long tail, not like what they used to mean back in the days of SEO for websites. Long tail today means like a question that's 10 words long. You're going to learn how that is gold. That is gold for you. Those that have low search volume are gold and will bring you the big search volume. Now here's the first aha that I expect you to have, okay? So in the past, you went after shorter phrases like a 3-word or 4-word or a 5-word phrase, and there was no way to differentiate between is the person typing in this topic, are they a business owner or are they a consumer? But when you add in a few more words, those words give you a lot more detail about who they are, what their situation is, and tell you exactly if they're a business owner, but even more specific, what type of business they own. So I've done a lot of keyword research for my clients, not looking for keywords, but looking for questions. And I've pulled out some examples that I find that are clearly for business owners, B2B, okay? So take a look at these. How to start a vacation rental business, or how to get into the vacation rental business, how to scale it, how to sell it, how to do it with no money. So clearly, just because it has the word business in it, these are business owners or people wanting to build a business. Another example is how to price coaching packages, okay? So these are obviously coaches that are a business owner. They're trying to build their coaching business. And look at this one. All these questions say make money online business. So how to make money from an online business, or what are the online businesses to make money? So I've got several more examples that have the word business in it. So coach life business. You see there's a whole bunch of specific questions there. Or life coach client. That's interesting. By having the word client in it, it really helps you find B2B questions. Coach life training. Or real estate business, okay? So when you have the word business in there, it obviously makes it B2B. Business strategy market, a whole bunch there. But look at this one. It doesn't have the word business in it, doesn't have client in it. Market measure. But consumers aren't asking these questions. This is a big list of questions that are all B2B. Or build CRM. Or CRM implementation. Like people that are using these tools, they're not consumers, they're all business owners. So another obvious one is sales funnel. Consumers aren't asking about sales funnels. Or sales pipeline. Great questions there. This last example I found is obviously one that has the word business in it. If you search hard enough, whatever your area of expertise is, there are always B2B questions. There are millions of questions that are being asked. And just by the words that are used, you know whether it's a consumer that's asking it or a business owner that's asking it. So the old form of website SEO, it was harder to distinguish, but today Obviously, you're not going to make any videos that target consumers if that's not your audience. So in this new age of AI, you might have heard some new terms. There's AEO, that stands for Answer Engine Optimization, and there's GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, and they're kind of proclaimed as being the replacement for SEO, search engine optimization, okay? But AEO and GEO are drastically different. They're different skill sets of these AI tools. We love using the AI tools for generating things, being really creative, whether graphically or with words, creating poetry, right? It can generate content. But when you're doing research and you want a real answer from somebody who's an expert and knows what they're talking about, have you ever had GEO step in and make up stuff? I was doing some research on a topic and I was given a quote from a person, and I'm like, I didn't know that that person ever said that. So I asked ChatGPT, okay, where's this quote from? And it gave me a talk. So I went, referenced that talk, that quote wasn't in there. ChatGPT actually made up a quote for a person. We never want that. Where people are really starting to differentiate, like, okay, this is when I want you to generate, this is when I want an answer from an expert. So answer engine optimization is really what's gold for us. Generative engine optimization is an amazing tool for a different application. And when you're giving prompt to ChatGPT, you need to let it know, am I wanting you to generate or am I wanting answers? No generation, I need strict research. So how does that apply to you wanting to generate B2B leads using ChatGPT? Well, you can provide answers that ChatGPT can show to people that are asking these questions, to these business owners. So it becomes a perfect fit. It's never going to help you if you're trying to get there on the generative side, because it's not going to reference you or people accurately. It's just going to generate and create the answer or the content that people are asking. But when people really have a problem and they want a real solution, they're going to leverage Google or YouTube or ChatGPT to search to find the right answer. And they'll even say, help me find a YouTube video or help me find an article written by somebody who's got real experience. Let me take you behind the scenes. This is Chad Littlefield's YouTube channel. We're in the Creator Studio. I'm going to come here to Analytics. We're going to go to Advanced Mode, and I'm going to take you to Traffic Source. All right, so this is really cool. We're looking at the last 28 days, and you're going to see this traffic source breakdown. We've got external as number one, with 21 or almost 22,000 views in the month just from external sources. Second is YouTube search, 21,000 there as well. And then we've got suggested browse and so forth. So YouTube search, extremely valuable. He serves businesses, right? So all these are questions that business owners are asking online, and specifically here, YouTube search. They're asking questions on YouTube, and he's getting 21,000 views a month from those questions. Now watch this. If I click on external, you'll see the breakdown of all these different sources, and what one is at the top? It's Google search. So he's getting an additional 14,400 views on his videos from Google search. And if you look further down the list, we see ChatGPT right there. We also see ChatGPT right there. So these numbers, if you add that up, it's approaching 500 in a month that are people that are on ChatGPT asking questions. ChatGPT recommends one of Chad's videos, so they leave, go to YouTube, and that's what these numbers are. That's how many people have watched these videos on YouTube. So ChatGPT is also recommending Chad's blog, and they're also just mentioning Chad by name. So hopefully you can see that there's actually ways that you can track and see that this works. What kind of prompts should I use if I want ChatGPT to attract my ideal business customer? All right, I found that that's a question that people are asking, and the answer is none. So putting a prompt into ChatGPT is not how you're going to do this. That's not how you're going to find business customers. We're talking about them finding you. So when your business customer is using ChatGPT, that it's going to recommend your name to them. You can own your topic. You can own your niche, whether people are searching on YouTube, Google, or ChatGPT. How can I tell whether the people finding me are coming from ChatGPT or somewhere else? Knowing where your customers and clients come from is super valuable. And so if you have a form where they're scheduling an appointment with you, you can have that as a question. How did you hear about me? You can also use different landing pages for different lead sources, right? So if you're doing an ad campaign and you send them to one, if you have a YouTube campaign and the calls to action lead them to a different landing page, you can really track where your leads are coming from. Now, how do you know if ChatGPT is recommending you? Well, if it's a YouTube video that they're recommending, I showed you how you could track that. And there are softwares out there. They're kind of expensive. Like there's a website that I use called SEMrush. I use it specifically for their keyword magic tool, but they do have some AI data. The problem with it is it's only tracking your website. So just like on YouTube, it tracks how many people came to you from ChatGPT watching YouTube videos. This tool can then track how many times did ChatGPT recommend your website. So if you want to pay that fee, you can use that, and I can give you a 2-week free trial. I mostly use it for their keyword magic tool, but the free trial is herokeywordtool.com. I've also found that when I have one-on-one conversations with people, they will tell me if they found me through AI. It's pretty fun to hear about it too. Somebody just told me recently, yeah, I was doing some research on Perplexity, and I'm not even familiar with that tool as much as I am ChatGPT, but they were asking questions. It brought up Dara Leaves, which is a YouTube expert helping people that want to build like a Mr. Beast type channel. And then it mentioned me for business owners. And so the person looked into me, watched several of my videos, and ended up reaching out to me. And then they just told me about it when we had that conversation. So if this episode has opened your eyes as to what's really possible in this new AI age in generating B2B leads, the next thing to learn is how to intentionally rank at the top of YouTube search. That's step number 1. If you get there, then you can rank on Google and on ChatGPT. Now, I teach a step-by-step strategy of how to do this. It's called the leaf strategy. So leaf as in leaves on a tree. And I teach a webinar, and you can register for it at theleafstrategy.com. So you will learn the 5 ingredients of that strategy and how you can own your space, how you can make sure that your videos are appearing at the top of YouTube, at the top of Google, and being recommended by ChatGPT to the right audience, right? So people that are really in need of your help, that's where you're going to rank at the top. So you're curating the best leads. They turn into referral quality leads. So go to theleafstrategy.com. I'll see you there.